Hey friends, Happy New Year! It's your Prince of Play Solon here. I've been planning to make this Game of the Year list for a while, because it's rare for us to get a full year of games that have been nearly as good as 2017 has been, and I wanted to highlight the greatest games amongst those. This is also the first year that I've ever been able to keep up on mainstream game releases, and so this is really new for me. To that end, I don't want this to be just another hierarchical list where a bunch of games lose because they weren't first place. I think that's just so high school drama, and it's kind of tacky and neoliberal. I mean, it's bad form for a lot of reasons. So instead, without further ado, let's talk about all of the greatest video games of 2017. Great interactive fiction can be literally anything. It's the broadest possible category for any postmodern media. It's largely considered anything between dating sims and choose-your-own-adventure stories or visual novels, but can even include non-linear essays about SB Nation video producer John Boyce. Why not? Shout out to Colin Space Twinks for that, it's really dope. But we're here for the greatest. And as the forefront leading scholar on all things interactive fiction, it is my honor and privilege to declare Butterfly Soup the greatest interactive fiction of 2017. And here's why. Butterfly Soup is the only media I've been able to find to accurately understand a fundamental universal construct that has been around since the beginning of time. And that's that gays can't gravity. Over this last year, I came out as bi, and I lost all of my attunement to Earth's magnetic field. Friction is occasionally a suggestion when things get gay. I think Isaac Newton said that. This is historically where the term falling in love comes from. It's a gay thing, but straight people took it to use as filler for rom-coms and love songs, but we know. Anyways, Butterfly Soup understands that gays can't gravity, and it's one of the core themes of the game, and more than ever before, I've come to understand that on a fundamental level. I respect Butterfly Soup's dedication to the queer experience, where these girls are constantly walking into each other, or doors, or suspiciously sturdy furniture that wasn't there a second ago. Also, its music, writing, art, characters are all really incredible, and it had one of the funniest scenes I've ever had the pleasure of playing through this year. It's genuinely not okay that this is pay what you want, as in free on itch.io. I am uncomfortable with that, and afterwards, I will be paying the same price I paid for Dream Daddy for this, once I'm able to put it down. Puyo Puyo Tetris is a joyous reminder of how important it is to continue to iterate on classic systems of play. In the places where it mashes up the two games Tetris and Puyo Puyo, it can feel a little strange, but the fundamentals of Puyo and Tetris are easily accessible with the secrets of each of their separate universes contained within, ready to be mastered. And the combination of the two is incredible. Tetris gains so much from Puyo's personality, and Puyo gets Tetris's respect and reverence. As a player, I'm allowed to identify as a Tetris person, or as a Puyo person, or a hybrid of the two, and all of those identities are equally valid. This is also the first time I've ever played Tetris or Puyo competitively, and it's radically changed how I understand these simple puzzle games that I've grown up with my entire life. I now understand what a fighting game is. Why we play fighting games. We do this because we want to show off cool moves that our friends don't know, and then yell at them when they beat us, even though we worked really hard to master our T-spin and trailing setups. I thought I knew nothing about how Puyo Puyo worked, and this game taught me that not only do I suck at Puyo Puyo, I suck at Tetris too! At the same time! That's 2 for the price of 1. That's value. Puyo Puyo Tetris is also the only game this year that I played both online and offline with friends, And that in itself is a hell of an accomplishment in 2017. And that's why Puyo Puyo Tetris is the greatest fighting game of 2017. I don't know why everyone is chomping at each other's dicks trying to make a BanjoKazooie, but like, that happened this year in 2017. Snake Trap, Ukulele, A Hat in Time, the Crash Bandicoot remakes, bad 3D platformers are in vogue because adults do not understand how to entertain children without large glossy eyeballs and collect-em-ups. But somehow, this competition became so fierce this year that they made one that didn't suck. Super Lucky's Tale is the greatest BanjoKazooie game of 2017, which in hindsight is a dubious award because Lucky is like a really good video game. It's cute and nice, and it doesn't itch and burn in all the places you'd normally expect a collect-em-up to burn. It's good. It's extremely good and nice and simple and clean. Gosh, I like Super Lucky's Tale, and it doesn't have to be any more than that. I want to die. I feel the world slowly dying around me, and none of the powerful organizations who could help us is trying to question or stop this. All of my friends are trying to survive and help their friends survive in small communal living situations, but I don't think any of us are going to make it. And for my entire life, the US has been occupying foreign territories and sending troops overseas, and now it's 2017. It feels like I'll never get to see any kind of peace, and even if I make it, I'll just be completely alone, just like that little shit 9S, who I loathe and hate and want to choke the life out of, because when I look in the mirror, that is who I see. And I wish this game didn't come out this year, and I wish this came out 10 years ago, or last year, or when I was 15. I wish I played near 10 years from now, when I was far removed from this cruel reality that I struggle with each day to wrap my head around. And Nier Automata helps me understand that in ways I don't think I'm capable of deconstructing right now. I feel incredibly selfish for how quickly I gave up my save file for this game. It took me like less than a second to consider and decide, hey, my save data is worth less than nothing. Haha, ha. Oh, how I laughed as it asked me over and over if I was sure I wanted to end it all. We went through so many emotions and feelings together, but in the end, those 0.2 kilobytes of save data mean almost nothing to me. God, I just love this fucking game so much. I love it. And it's funny because at the end of it all, after everything we went through, all of the anxious, beautiful suffering, I look back and I just think to myself, I liked Nier Gestalt more. Is that weird? How do we even talk about Dushana? This is the most important video game of 2017. What would you do to get revenge for the death of your child and your husband? Would you go to the military? Would you play a video game? Would you ride a motorcycle? This is a game about reaching into the horrifying deserts of nihilism and managing to find an oasis of hope. There's very little in the world of Dushana that's metaphorical. It's all extremely literal, from the spider beasts to the android tech monsters, and if you look at it through the lens of our shared reality, you might find a bunch of careful allusions. Maybe you know some of these people or scenarios. Actually, Dushana is probably going to be uncomfortably real and hit close to home in a lot of ways. The myriad ways we try to take care of ourselves after we lose things that are precious to us are astoundingly captured within Dushana. I kept finding myself thinking I was doing nothing at all, but distracting myself, when, in fact, I was exactly where I needed to be all along. There are way too many points of interest to talk about with regards to this game as far as this short essay that we're writing here goes, but let me just say, I didn't know how much I needed Dushana in my life, and that's why it's the most important video game of 2017. There are quite a few games that came out this year with somewhat more than lukewarm political undertones, and later in our series I'll be critical of Wolfenstein for being a little too soft around modern social politics, but Dushana doesn't give a shit and will strike you down immediately if you don't take the game seriously in every way. It's a serious video game with a serious, fully functioning Metroidvania minigame inside of it. So yeah, I love Dushana. It's really good.
Pie or hangers. So just to confirm, you've never seen this man before? No. You've never seen this man before, have you? Just to confirm for our studio audience. Pie or hangers.
Hey, thanks for being here for the greatest games of 2017. As you can see so far on our list, there's been a lot of games that are really personal. And that's a big theme of 2017 in video games, is that the games that are personal that are coming out are becoming much bigger than they were previously. In the next part of our deconstruction of the greatest games of 2017, we've got some great categories for you. We've got the greatest music of 2017, the most 2017 game of 2017, and of course, the greatest game of 2017. Those are all coming up soon to come, so make sure you've subscribed. Make sure you hit the little bell at the bottom, make the little ding and go. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you very much for joining us. It's just an honor to be able to even make this for you guys.